Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We've got an absolute banger of a game. This is, of course, one of our best game highlight matches. This is Maru in the bottom left from Team Envy. And his opponent in the top right. It is ShowTime from Big Esports. Germany up against Korea. Mauer, aka the Wall, the Fortress. ShowTime, a great defensive Protoss player. He's going to be playing up against Maru in the bottom left. And Maru, an absolute monster within his own right. We'll see exactly how this one goes. You guys let me know if the in-game sound is a little bit louder and music than normal. I think it's alright, but I think maybe my computer volume changed for some reason, so we'll see if that's a little off what it normally is. Anyway, point being, this game was recommended as an absolute banger. It is actually game 2 of a best of 3, but I'm not going to put the scoreboard up because we're just looking at it in isolation. Maru was technically up 1 game at this point. It was a best of 3, but I heard that just this match in the series of the potential 3 games was actually like really exciting. And so we do a few of these. Sometimes we cast whole series in our best games wrap-ups, and other times we actually go for ones where it was like one specific whole back and forth match. But apparently this itself was a good one. Now ShowTime's looking for this barracks. He's like, dude, where is your barracks? And it is, of course, hidden over here. He's going to build a Reaper. We'll use it to come kill the probe. And he's going to be going for that Reaper, probably 2 Reaper Hellion opening that's so popular at the moment. All the Terran players loving mixing this in, keeping the Protoss on their toes. ShowTime? In this scenario, I think he likes to go Phoenix a lot. In general, he loves his Phoenix Charge Archon style. And the bunker comes in. This bunker's so popular now. But the probe's going to pull back. Now, that's interesting. That is interesting. He didn't want to lose the probe, but now he realizes, wait, the Reaper is on the other side of the map. Oh, go back, quick, stop that bunker getting up. We don't want to let him kill my probe on my side and get a bunker up. But look at that, the SCV. Oh my God, it's so regularly goes into this spot. I've seen this bunker rush so many times, and so often the SCV goes into that spot. I think there's something. SCVs love going next to the Nexus. Oh, the Reaper grenade keeps the SCV alive. And then just gonna repair that back up. And no shield battery got dropped, which I think is a big mistake for ShowTime. I think if that bunker looks like it's going to go up, you want to put down a shield battery. But he is indeed going to go the Stargate for the Phoenix. As I said, he loves doing that. So we'll see exactly what goes up. And we'll see exactly how it goes. All right, and back into it. The Adept and the Stalker there. Just going to be dancing in and out, trying to get it. He's going to actually build the shield battery in the main, so that's kind of cute. So he's saying, well, let's not build it on the natural, but he needs to not lose the pylon, of course. I think there's a small argument here for like, hey, hit the pylon. Now, he's going to sell the bunker real soon. And he does get that back. Oh, letting the SCV get away is ShowTime. I think that's a bit of a mistake. Of course, the Reaper is pinning him back there. We've got 3 Widow Mines on the way, 2 Marines at a time. Problem is, Widow Mine drop's so popular as a follow-up to this. There's a reason why ShowTime plays Phoenix every single time, man. Phoenix is amazing for shutting that down now. Oh, this Reaper's going to do a good job. He will see that it's Phoenix play. And because of that, Maru, does he cancel the medevac? He's not going to cancel the medevac. He'll let it pop out, but he's not actually going to drop. Notice his Widow Mines are now setting up in a bit of a defensive stance. He's getting kind of a ring. He's setting up a bunker to put Marines in. And he's going, yeah, let's not actually mess with that anymore, okay? Set up these Widow Mines guarding this main base. And he's going to hide that under the starport. No, he changes his mind. He's going to put it on the very edge. Okay. It's creating a real ring of control there with those Widow Mine Cyclones on the way. Oracle will come in behind the Phoenix. Phoenix, watch out, buddy. Ouchie. 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 Okay. Does take a hit, but at least now you know the Widow Mines are at home, so you know it's ShowTime. Okay, he's not coming across with that. That's okay. 2nd and 3rd gateway on the natural. Already looking for a 3rd base is ShowTime. And I think that's not a bad idea. You see your opponent's built a few Widow Mines like that. That tells you he can't have a good Cyclone Viking army up yet, right? If he's built 3 Widow Mines, he can't already have 2 Cyclones and a Viking out pushing across the map to threaten your 3rd. So ShowTime says, yeah, I'll drop the 3rd base. I will start an extra unit. So he's starting his 4th gateway unit there on the gateway. He's building a 2nd Oracle, interestingly enough, and he's already put Stasis Trap down. So he's going to try and do that. But I don't think... I mean, Maru's building another Cyclone and a Liberator. So he's going to push the 3rd base angle, and he's going to slide a Liberator into the main at the same time as his frontal army distracts. Now, problem for Maru is his frontal army is not that scary, right? I mean, he could split off and do a Widow Mine drop at the same time, actually. Oh, I think that's how you do this. So what you do as Maru is you push the 3rd, but you also try and slide a Widow Mine drop around the back into the natural, and a Liberator hits the main. And if you do all that at once, it's very hard for ShowTime to deal with. So yeah, he's going to move forward. We'll see exactly how he goes. 3 barracks on the way, the Liberator coming out as well. The double Oracle going to hide off on the left side. Forge and Twilight are on the way. Adept on the Watchtower sees him coming. ShowTime, he will lose that Adept though. He's not going to be able to get out of there in time. Oracles are going to dive though, and they're going to find massive damage. There's no anti-air in the main base for Maru right now. He was like, yeah, you need to defend, buddy. I've got a scary push. ShowTime ain't respecting it though. ShowTime's just going to go in. Oh, he really should dive on the natural though. The Oracle's not being microed because he's busy at the front, but Stasis Trap caught 2 of these Cyclones. He's got 2 shield batteries on the way, a 3rd one as well. A siege tank gets picked up here and lifted. He doesn't kill nearly as many SCVs as I really thought ShowTime would. He's still got 16 energy on that Oracle. Okay, there we go. 11 kills, 10 kills in total. A few more very heavily damaged. Battery overcharge goes down here. He's going to try and skirmish in range of that battery, of course. Not enough damage from Maru to effectively get through that battery overcharge. And really good usage of that just to buy time, get a bit of damage down. Ooh, Widow Mine's landing some big juicy hits though, and ShowTime taking some big losses right now. 7 probes have gone down to the Liberator in the main, which is now going to move over. A Phoenix takes a bloody hour to get rid of a Liberator. The Stalker's cowering behind that. 2 Phoenix will make it a little quicker, but look at that. They still do so little damage, man. And yeah, he pulls the probes. Effectively, the probe pool did nothing because they bounced right back in. 10 probes go down. Maru going to abandon the position and pull back. He's going to wait for stim and shields to kick in, neither of which he started because he had to pull off and lost his gas mining. Why are you building a Raven right now, Maru? Maru is expecting a Colossus transition. Oh, this Raven is a terrible call right now. And I understand why Maru's done it. A lot of people play Phoenix into Colossus and maybe he's expecting that. But this is actually just going Charge Lot Archon. And I think because he saw all the Stalkers and these other kind of weird sets of units, he's like, oh, I'm not expecting mass charge. It's mass charge. This is going to be a mass charge 8-gate follow-up for ShowTime. ShowTime's still up 13 workers with an extra base. And this just delays stim and shield so long. And the Raven, not only is that super weak against the Phoenix, it just doesn't have any good targets for Interference Matrix. Now, obviously anti-armor missile can still be good if he lands a good one on the Zealots. It's just so often if the enemy's got 3, 4, 5 Phoenix out, in this case, only 3, I guess, they're going to do 20 damage a shot effectively to the Raven, which means 60. It's going to take 3 Phoenix shots, like from all 3 of them, to kill this Raven. If you have 4 Phoenix, it takes 2. And you guys know how fast Phoenix shoot. Ravens just disappear to Phoenix. So it's still going to be pretty brutal. And there is even a 4th Phoenix on the way. Definitely going to be a little nasty as Maru swaps into Widow Mine production, double medevac. He's going up to 5 barracks here as well. His +1 weapons will finishing up on the engineering bay. He's queuing up +1 armor. Forge making +1 attack as well. 61 probes here also. 14 probes there. We've got 16 probes on the natural as well. And the SCVs coming on down. Bio, Raven, moving out the right side of the map. We've got, how many Marines is that? 24 + 4, 28 + 2 Marauders. A Raven, 3 medevacs as well. Oracle gets blown up by a Widow Mine. Does turn around though, cleans that one up with the other Oracle. Vikings and Cyclones wanted to pick, they don't find it. Army moving down this right side. So we got 18 Zealots, 3 Archons, +1 attack, will not be ready for this. And you see this army and you're immediately very cautious as Maru. Because you wouldn't want to charge into a guy who's going Zealot, Archon, Phoenix, unless your name's Maru and you're literally insane. Why would you go in there? Are you crazy? Maru, what are you doing, buddy? If he pulls this off, oh my god, he's actually got a bunch of the Phoenix. A really slow rotate from ShowTime. ShowTime was kind of stunned there. He took so long to move his army up. He's lost a whole bunch of his Phoenix. He lets one of the medevacs get out. The multi-prong coming in. That should absolutely be going to the left side, I believe, for Maru. He's trying to kind of distract here. These units, I don't know why Maru is pushing the way he is right now. It seems like a man who's literally sticking his hand inside a crocodile's open jaws. You see a guy who's investing in a massive low-tier army that's good at chasing you down, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to pick my army up and jump into that. I mean, this is the thing of Maru, right? Recently, we put up a video on YouTube, guys. How good is the GOAT of Starcraft at Age of Empires 4? There's a video just checking out Cyril, streaming himself first person, playing Age of Empires, and there was a lot of comments, a lot of responses, and you know what those guys said? They said, Cyril's not the greatest of all time, he's not the GOAT, Maru's the GOAT. And Maru is one of the greatest of all time in StarCraft 2. But there's always something that makes me go, and that is the fact that Maru kind of does really shit in pretty much any tournament outside of Korea. There was that one grand finals he made it to against Life in Taipei, 2014, which was an awesome grand finals. Life was drunk and did beat him in that grand finals. That is one of the famous Life stories of him being out all night at like clubbing or in a casino or some shit like that, something fucked up, and coming in and smelling like shit and somehow just like cheesing his way through that grand finals. Now, that's not to say Maru's bad. Maru is one of the greatest players of all time. The thing is, if he could bring his GSL performance to other tournaments like here, this is a DreamHack Masters group stage match, it would make such a big difference. He's going to push forward. Big Widow Mines on the Zealots. A lot of that army on the right was stuck behind. This is not a good angle for ShowTime, but ShowTime might just have the numbers anyway. The Colossus coming forward. He's chasing this army down. Maru trying to push in, but the combination of Zealot Arc on the Colossus coming in, the Raven really got some worth before going down in that battle. You know, multiple interference matrices and all that sort of stuff, but that is an issue. So I think he's okay because ShowTime's economy is not great. He's on equal workers, right? The problem is ShowTime has double Forge, and he's got Blink almost finished, which is going to replace the Phoenix for anti-air, and he's got double Robo Disruptor. So ShowTime's got a lot of very important pieces of the puzzle. He's got Colossus range. Maru, on the other hand, he's a bit behind on the upgrades. He's just started +2. But he's got Ghosts. He is building some Vikings up to deal with the Colossus. It's just right now, Maru can't really contest the army head-to-head. He's got a weaker head-to-head army, and that means if ShowTime made a Warp Prism and pushed, he maybe could kill ShowTime, but kill Maru. But right now, both players just kind of skirmishing and getting set up for the next stage. So my point being, guys, Maru is one of the greatest of all time, and he had the most dominant run in GSL, winning every GSL for a year, and he's still doing really well in GSLs at the moment. Maru is such a god, but you can only really say he's the GOAT if you just basically are one of these Korean disciples who says GSL is the only format that matters, it's the only tournament that matters, and apparently Maru does amazingly when he has that preparation format with a long time between matches, but weekend tournaments, Maru has classically dropped the ball in. Any tournament that doesn't give him a shitload of time to prepare, which is, let's be real, the entire international circuit of StarCraft has been focused for all time around weekend tournaments. It's only in Korea where you have this ongoing circuit where there's this long time between matches. So the real argument there is like, hey, if you think GSL is the only thing that matters, you're absolutely right. He's the best of all time, Maru. No one can contest him. But just look at his year of dominance, and he rocks up to BlizzCon, and he's like, everyone's like, we want that Maru-Serral match to decide it all at the World Championship. And what happened? Maru played SOS, scouted he was on one base, and then just like tried to fly Widowmine drops into one base Blink Stalkers. Maru played objectively really bad builds, not the greatest builds. Is it because he's not good at handling the jet lag, playing in a different, unfamiliar environment? We don't know, but it was a huge letdown, and there's been a bunch of those experiences, and obviously things like Serral beating him in the best of ones at GSL versus the World, and a few other times. But Maru is nonetheless a fantastic player. The question is, can he bring it? And this is why this tournament's so exciting, because we're watching here this group, this group stage match, to see, hey, Maru, can you actually get through to the grand finals of one of these big tournaments? Yeah, you did season finals at Katowice, you got semi-finals at Katowice this year, which was awesome, but you still got taken out by Raynor there, and you got very much outclassed in early game Zerg versus Terran, even though your late game looked great. So Maru, he's one of the absolute greatest, but if he could bring that performance to these big online international tournaments or LAN international tournaments as we get those going again in the future, that's going to make a big difference to his legacy. Right now, though, ShowTime is causing him big trouble. Oh, 2 disruptors up front, but 3 big balls come out. Okay, 2 of them do land, but he's already blown his load. Wait, no, there's one more. Does keep him back. Where's the Warp Prism? There's no Warp Prism here. ShowTime there overextending on that attack a little bit, and you know what? I think he had an army that could have done a lot better than that, but ShowTime got his disruptors caught in front of his army a little bit, and that did mean that now ShowTime's kind of let his foot off the accelerator a little bit. 5th base in the bottom right going down. We've got 3-3 there. Fusion Core is getting that advanced ballistics as well. We've got 2 carriers coming in. Now, where are the air upgrades? He's got +1. We need to see him get +2 air. If he wants to go carriers, he needs those air upgrades. A lot of people make the mistake of going carriers, and a lot of them without air upgrades in significant amounts. And the problem that happens is if you end up with +0 carriers, that observer goes down, nice little scanny scan, or even +1 as they are right now, plus versus +3 armor like Marines and Marauders, they just don't do much damage, right? So once you get +2 versus +3, you're only down 1 upgrade. It's not too bad. And obviously as you get +3, it kind of equals out and looks all right. The carriers are a big problem for the Terran because it makes it very hard for the Terran to micro. So I don't know where that Widowmine was. Over here, it looks like that just killed a Zealot maybe. Okay. Okay, watch out for the balls. Some pretty good balls there from ShowTime. Ooh, okay. Alright. Colossus actually gets locked on by Cyclone. It's going to die to the Cyclone! Oh my lord. I think the Cyclone and the Viking volley managed to take that Colossus out. Carrier's coming in though, and that's going to complicate the micro for Maru. As we said, what do you focus fire? Because if you aim of your Marines and Ghosts, they kill Interceptors pretty effectively. But you need to target fire your Vikings. Vikings are really bad at fighting Interceptors. And once Interceptors are out, it's like, well, either your Vikings are committing really deep into their army, trying to focus down the Colossus, the Carriers, but in that case, they're going very deep into dangerous territory. So Maru's going to need exceptional control. I'd be worried for him if he wasn't Maru. Maru has some of the... He's the best late-game Terran in Korea, maybe in the world. It's what made his year of dominance so good, is not only did he crush people with proxy barracks in 2018, he also was very capable of going, oh, I'm way behind. I'm just going to turtle for the next 20 minutes and let you impale yourself on my defenses. Maru is the best Viking Ghost Liberator player in the world. Unfortunately for him, 10 Blink DTs coming on the left side, snipe down his command center, get 11 SCVs. A few of them do get out of there as well. Nicely done. On the right side, it looks like a few Vikings go down. I don't know if he got a carrier. It looks like he didn't. He just damaged that carrier deep in the red. It barely survived that first round of attacks. And ShowTime here is going to try and do the 1-2 prong, right? The carrier's on the right with the ground army and that DT attack on the left. Now, the problem he might have is no Psystorm. Remember that Psystorm is the best ultimate late game ability. Maru, Kua, a few of these late game guys have shown against Zest, a guy who's notoriously bad at the end game stage in terms of unit composition. Very good with army movement, very bad with composition. But they've shown against him like, hey, buddy, if you don't make Psystorm, we're going to get like 36 Liberators and Vikings, stack them on top of each other, and just out-micro you. But if you have a Storm Drop in there, if you can flank with a Storm Drop, or you can squeeze a little Stormy Storm with those clumped Vikings, they take so much damage. So the Storm is definitely going to be something, if we get into that mass air versus carrier sort of disruptor battle, it's something Maru can win if ShowTime stays on only disruptors for his splash damage. Plasma Shield's coming in as well. He's got +2 air weapons. +2 air weapons is already done for Maru. I'd love to see him get armor upgrades as time goes on as well. Something which sometimes Clem, Maru, these guys do sometimes forget about because they're so focused on the engagements. But +3 starting up on time. Obviously, he wants damage first of all. Oh, he gets a carrier. The EMP lands, but he'd already knocked the shields off that carrier. Does knock shields off one other though. Oh, Stalker's kind of derping in a little bit. I don't like this fight for ShowTime. There's only 3 libs there, which is not that scary. But ShowTime taking an unnecessarily sloppy fight. He was trying to scare and distract while his DTs blinked in. We see a planetary and 3 Liberators there causing big problems. So, oh, ShowTime's taking the bottom right, and Maru's realized, he's like, nope. Okay, so this is where Maru swaps into efficiency mode, guys. And yeah, ShowTime, I think, is used to playing against Terrans who are a little bit more desperate to fight on the map. When you play against Maru, dude, Maru's like, okay, we're playing late game, dickhead. And you're like, oh, what's the difference there? What does Maru do? Okay, when Maru swaps into this mode, guys, he is not thinking about killing his opponent at all. By the way, can we get some more fucking observers out here? What are you doing? ShowTime, don't be one of these cucks that doesn't build observers. Come on, mate. Zealot's getting overwhelmed in the bottom right side. Stalker Warping ain't going to be enough. Recall will do the job. Nice battery overcharge as well. Yeah, he needs some more observers. Those Widow Mines just keep hitting him. So anyway, what's Maru going to do? Well, he's going to build the Iron Bank, guys. He's going to make mass orbital. He's going to build extra planetaries in front of his planetaries, and he's going to have turrets and libs layered everywhere. He's just going to always have those. Funnily enough, because he didn't have tanks from earlier in the game, he's like, dude, there is no reason to make tanks in this game. I'll just make more Liberators. Liberators are just a more efficient tank. They can't get taken out by disruptors. They're more mobile. They can fly around. I can swap them into anti-air mode. In the rare scenario where your opponent's on mass carrier, that can be good. In this case, though, ShowTime, guys, he's going for a distraction of carriers. 2 carriers, just enough to fuck up the opponent's AI. Try to kind of trick them into building too many Vikings, if anything, and just force their units to derp out fighting interceptors. He's got to watch out, though. Those Vikings are going to go for the snipe! Oh, does he get it? Maru does get 1 carrier. Nicely done in the libs. This is what we're talking about, the libs. There is actually, there's 1 tank over on the left. But yeah, he basically just sets up this impregnable wall, and he's going to very slowly be like, I'll take one more base. I'll take one more base. I'll take one more base. Like, just so slowly and methodically. And the Protoss player's like, fucking come out here and fight me, dickhead. Come out and fight me. And the thing is, ShowTime style, if Maru's trying to push him, Maru would give massive openings. But he's not right now. And look at that. The buildings are even walling off the disruptor shots from getting in. The libs, the turrets, the command centers. And as long as he keeps reinforcing these walls, rebuild the turrets, repair the command centers, keep building them. Guys, he's up to 8 orbitals. Maru is one of the guys who, from early Legacy of the Void, started to appreciate the Iron Bank, the mass orbital. He did this back on Prion Terraces back in the day. He was the first guy who showed you could beat Zerg with Ghost Liberator. And Planetary Fortress is going to do a lot of damage here. It will get broken, funnily enough. Oh, you got ShowTime. Okay, he does finally kill that Planetary. It's good to pick things off like that, open up territory, but ShowTime, I think he needed to transfer full workers here. So what I've talked about a lot in these late game stalemates, guys, is especially if you're playing as the less efficient player, we can see in the units lost up there, ShowTime, way less efficient right now. You need to fully saturate the gas and the minerals on these corner bases as quickly as possible. Because you're saying, look, I'm being less efficient with this composition, but I'm more mobile and more able to bully. How do you take advantage? Well, you mine more of the map than them. He's using mass DTs here. He tried to blink on the bio, but of course, some good stutter step from Maru. Zealot DTs, if they can get another blink on top, and blink on top of the bio does very well. Meanwhile, balls have just been sieging the turrets in the orbital on the left, trying to use them at maximum range. And yeah, it's going to chase down a few of these bio units. So like I said, you want to transfer all your workers from these like safe bases, like here and here, down to the corners as quickly as possible. ShowTime right now is chucking a little bit of a Zest, guys. So the way Zest plays late game versus this style is he just keeps building Stalker Disruptor and having 1 or 2 carriers, or 3 or 4, sometimes I still go 5 or 6, and trying to break them like this. And this is honestly, Maru's played against Zest doing this 1,000 times, ShowTime. Unless you've got some special magic that Zest has never showed us, then I don't know, dude. The Stalkers are focusing the libs down. He will get the libs and the planetaries. Okay, I like this move, just mixing in the Stalkers to clear the libs up very quickly. Gets a planetary, gets a few libs. I think that's a really good trade. He's also finally taking the gases down here. He's been so focused on the engagements, though. I do think he's taken a little bit long. Look at this army! Watch out, Maru! Watch out! Oh my god, the damage from the ghost is insane. Oh, he loses a medevac there. Okay, ShowTime there. We see some marauders bouncing off the camera. Youch. That one, I don't know how that Colossus is still alive, by the way. I do not know how that Colossus is still alive this deep into the game. So as we said, Stalkers are kind of just piss-weak units in the late game in terms of raw efficiency. Oh, that Siege Tank going to cover, but he still gets 2 libs. So not a bad little trade there for ShowTime, who's creating openings. He's going to attack this side again, the Bio Ghost nearby though. Notice the way Maru has his army split on both sides. He's got some libs here. He hasn't repaired that orbital, which definitely is a little scary. Attacking on the bottom right says ShowTime. He gets the Liberator, but that's too much Bio Ghost. He's going to pay a hefty price in Stalkers there. I mean, Maru's still down on bases. This is actually an acceptable units lost if you're mining the corners. Remember, guys, ShowTime has not mined out the corners. The Stalkers are going to go for the Liberators there. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets number 3. Oh, this is a great attack now. Maru's going to answer with his own attack towards the bottom right. Now, this is not an army that can defend this as ShowTime. He's got to run. Abandon. There's no way. That's not going to work. He tries to blink on top. This is a bad fight for ShowTime because the EMPs and the stutter step from Maru preemptively did not let the DTs get this around. He's losing so many bases on the left, though. It might not matter. ShowTime does save a lot of those units and probes. He pulls back. He says, yeah, I'll give up the corner. I'm pushing deep in your territory, buddy. You're back on 4 bases. Maru says, no, I'm not. I'm floating in the command center over here. I've always got more command centers, and I always have the Iron Bank standing ready to drop more mules. ShowTime needs to keep this momentum up. He does not have a great bank, but if he can regroup and smash this base before it gets reinforced, there is a chance here. It's mass bio, a couple libs, 10 Vikings are out. But what's the army for ShowTime? It's 6 Disruptors, 20 Stalkers, 2 Colossus, and this pack of kind of Zealot DT on the right side as well. He wants to attack this left, but he never broke these rocks. How is this Widow Mine still alive? This is literally seeing your entire army movements all game. ShowTime leaving this Widow Mine alive. This might be the equivalent of when a Terran leaves an Observer over their army all game, and it literally just tells them where the opponent's moving ahead of time. Like, this is actually so bad for ShowTime, that Widow Mine. Oh, he's getting caught. He's getting caught. ShowTime in a bit of disarray there. Okay, he does throw some balls out. Gets a ghost on the right side. DT is getting caught by the bio and the scans there as well, guys. Ooh-wee. Okay, let's go. Let's see what happens. Big army coming on in there. Oh my lord. Oh my lord! Oh, okay, the Disruptor's not landing. Okay, there we go. He gets a triple ghost shot. Oh, another big one. He does lose all of his Colossus though. Didn't focus fire the Vikings quite as quickly as he could have. Great disruptor shots on the retreat though. Guys, like I said, if ShowTime can mine more, he's going to be good. But oh, there's Bio Ghost hiding in the back. Maru says, okay, you killed the planetary, but I kill all of those DTs. That is not a good trade for you, dickhead. ShowTime though, he's still got the momentum. Demour is looking more like the Avalanche right now. He's trying to just overwhelm Maru, but Maru is a very, very heavy rock. He is hard to dislodge. That orbital, he's got, click it. That's so worth to kill, bro. Kill it. He could have killed that orbital. That's a missed opportunity. Obviously, he was bleeding out a few units. He's going to take the half base here. Is ShowTime? I'd love to see ShowTime retake the bottom right, but at the moment, he's saying, look, I don't have the mobility to handle that. Remember, these Stalkers reach 2 supply, yet they get their ass kicked by the 2 supply Marauders. +3 plasma shields about to come in. No carriers being added in. I'd love to see carriers still being mixed in, but I think Maru's been so good at keeping his Vikings alive that ShowTime's decided, nah. He's decided, nah. And no disruptors. Okay, so the one problem that ShowTime's had is he's never had disruptors ready to stop Maru's counter pushes. He's going to push in. He gets 16 SCVs in the command center. Remember that Maru can float more command centers down, though. And that command center falls. He's got a recall right now. Oh, EMP! He doesn't get to recall. ShowTime was just gathering up for a recall on the bottom right side of the map, but now he's going to have to recall here if he recalls at all. He goes after one more command center. He might get it. He's got to come back home. I think Maru's not going to go any deeper. He doesn't want to lose his army out there. That command center apparently cannot get further away from there, so that will go down. I don't know, dude. Who's winning? I mean, units lost tab looks great for Maru. Maru has a little more bang, but Maru's economy is so fucking fragile. Where's he mining from right now, guys? He's not mining. That being said, where's ShowTime mining from? He's got 4 mineral patches, and he's trying to rebuild a bunch of bases. The next fight decides this game. The next fight will 100% decide this game. And already, gonna have to cancel down there. That's gonna also pull his army back, which allows Maru to cross through into this area and maybe take control of the watchtower, which will snap off this whole corner of the map. Oh, big balls! Gets a few Ghosts and Marauders, loses a Disruptor for it. Now, if you can catch him when most of the libs are on siege, that will be big. We've got DTs on the left side denying SCVs. They're going to start working on that orbital. Watch the fight, though. Remember, the fight decides. Disruptor did get a Ghost. ShowTime's dancing on the edge, but the lib count. 7 Liberators with +3 are saying, hey, we do 90 damage a shot. We 2-shot Stalkers now, mate. ShowTime has to abandon the bottom right corner. He's got to give up this ground. He's going to have to man mode this fight. Oh, not here, though. That's not where you fight. So he's going to have to go around. Okay, at this point, ShowTime kind of has to go around this army, I think. Give up this whole right side. Take the left. His DTs are killing the orbitals right now. Phoenix in the bottom right. Looks like it did finish off that other unit. And... oh... got Liberators, Vikings, Marines, Marauders, all having a good time. We've got the DTs there as well. Marauders do take down the Assimilators. Zealots going all around the map. And we've got a ton of this stuff going up to that corner. Units on that side as well. Okay. The Marines and the Ghosts are going to try and stim forward and try to take out the DT. DT does go down. Zealot's going to jump on those Marines. And it looks like a good fight until the rest of the units get there. So a quick pullback from ShowTime. The income right now, ShowTime has secured a base. He's got another base about to be up. He's still got those mineral patches on the right. A big fight! No! ShowTime! A disaster of an engagement. He thought he was catching half of Maru's army, but his balls were way behind. Guys, you got to remember to get those balls up front and center. You need to force the bio to spread. But now he's taken a bad start to the fight, and Maru's got him. Maru's got him! Look at the way he's taking out the Disruptors before they can even connect. Oh my god, Maru just annihilated ShowTime's force, and that's the power of the range lib in a front-on force. It's all about who gets the siege first. Maru got the initial siege, cleared out the front line, and then he just moved those libs forward. The Tempests are coming out now, which is actually a great counter to the Liberators, an old-school counter. Problem he's got between him. Maru can now disengage from the Tempests, micro back, take out a base, take out the next base. There's no way the Tempest can clear this out quick enough. And ShowTime's just lost too much meat in his army. So he's going to lose all of his probes, and he's going to lose his bases. And Maru, he's still got... how many orbitals does he have left? He's still got 6 orbitals. Yeah, in this scenario, it's actually... the economy is more fragile of the Protoss than the Terran, because the Terran has those orbital command centers, which are really shoring things up. Big balls coming in, trying to keep that back, but he's got to be focus firing the libs with the Stalkers and the Tempests while these balls do their work, and he's just shy of any more balls left over. to actually deal with this army. This is also where 1 or 2 storms are so deadly in these fights, guys. High Templar, they're not there to be reliable. They're there to be staggered across the map, so the moment the Terran gets a boner and tries to chase you down, that's when you land a big storm and it changes the entire course of the game. That's when you landed on the Vikings or the Libs. And ShowTime has lacked that tool. He's decided, no, it's not consistent. I like consistency. I'm Demour. I'm the Wall. I like my really reliable things. And I am 100% adamant that Storm is the most important tool in your late game to be added on top. It's a cherry on top of the cake, but it's a cherry that often decides these late game scenarios. And as it is, if you've got to wait for Ghosts, which is the slowest part of the Terran army, to get forward to EMP each one and double EMP full energy High Templar, it's very hard for the Terran to clear that out. Now, there's only 1 ball right now, so ShowTime, he's got the Tempests. He has done massive economic damage, right? But more mules are dropping. And this is the big problem for ShowTime, is that he's got to keep on top of this. He needs to keep just filtering these DTs in there and trying to get it done. This Nexus didn't die? Wait, what? Oh, I didn't realize Maru didn't finish this Nexus off. Oh, Maru screwed the pooch a little bit on that one. Now, seeing that the army evacuated, time to jump on this. ShowTime's got to go. ShowTime's got to be more confident right now. Unless he wants to recall to that top right, but he's already used his recall. No, there's no way. DT does go in here and start to do some damage, clearing out these SCVs. Both sides are in a very low economy situation. This game could still go either way. The Zealots are going to find that army there. And ShowTime, it looks like he's just going to lose that base in the top left, and that's a big bummer for him. He's going to come forward on the right side. Maru is going to try and just give up ground. He's doing a zoning nuke right now. Very cute play. Remember, ShowTime's been very low on observers all game long. No. Okay, no, he sees it. Oh, he cancels the nuke. Moves forward to dodge the disruptor. EMP is the army. Chad micro from Maru. He's just taken out one of ShowTime's most important bases. But another medevac goes down. Make it 2. These are not cheap units for Maru to be losing. But Maru, he's got an army. And the problem for ShowTime, guess what beats this army, guys? Tempest Stalkers and just a couple disruptors. Very few. Marines. That's all Maru's building. He's like, I'm dropping mules and I'm building Marines. And anytime I get a command center down for 30, 40 seconds, I get a shitload of minerals, I make a shitload of Marines, and look at the army supply. Getting these orbitals, though, that does actually start to chip into this. He's down to how many? His Iron Bank is being broken. He's down to 4. He's about to be down to 3 orbital command centers. And that's a lot less mining. Each one of those is like killing 5 SCVs, essentially. It's not exact, but let's say 4.5, I don't know, maybe 3 permanent SCVs, 3.5 permanent SCVs, 4.5 in terms of mining when the mules are actually down, but they're not constant. And here we go, balls coming out, but it's not enough to cover him. It's not enough. He doesn't have enough balls. And this is just too many units. The Marauder spread, he comes in, he gets every single disruptor, and that ball of Marines, what can stop it? What can stop that ball of Marines? Flanking ball! Gets a big one, but big one ain't good enough. ShowTime is going to get overrun here, and Maru does manage to... I think if ShowTime pulled those Tempests back to the dead space, maybe, because there was nothing that could actually reach them, he could chip away, get another DT into the almost non-existent mining of Maru. But at the end of the day, Maru, when he's in trouble, he does what Maru does best. He pulls up his fucking shield, he plants it in the ground, and it doesn't matter how many people charge at him, he fucking plants his pike, plants his shield, and he just fucking braces. And that's what Maru does better than any Terran in the world, man. He will brace, he will take your early game, your mid game advantage, whatever it is, and he will let you just fucking blow your load on his defensive stance. The planetaries, the liberators, orbitals, even that planetary in the middle ramp, like, this is just primo Maru defense into late game. Some of the best Viking focus fire on the carriers, and never overcommitted to the Vikings as well, which you could see ShowTime wanted him to do that. He only built 2 carriers at a time, and even went off them in the late game because Maru was so good at handling it. GG, well played Maru there. He gets that game, and that was, of course, to seal his best of 3 in his first group stage match in DreamHack Masters. GG, well played Maru.